So yesterday morning, I realised that I can actually see Old Trafford from my hotel room. So I decided rather than paying £5 for an all-day tram fare, I might as well just walk the 2-ish miles it takes to get to Old Trafford. And I thought it was going to be like this really nice scenic walk, and I was going to like really help my anxiety that I get on match day. It did not. I ended up trekking through a bunch of industrial parks, so maybe I should have just got the tram. But I mean, there was no tram service until late this morning. Anyway, there was like this whole announcement about it. But yeah, at least got my steps up. It's only 12 o'clock because I was rushing out of the hotel. I haven't had any breakfast, and I know I should have something like nutritious and whatever. But around all these food vans that I'm seeing, I really just want chips and a pint, which I guess is just, proper match day etiquette. So I just saw Peter Schmeichel in real life, which was weird because I actually play football, and I play football in a Sunday league team, and I'm a goalkeeper. So obviously I look up to a lot of goalkeepers, especially United ones and England ones, and Celtic ones, because those are the teams that I support. And I've just Peter Schmeichel fucking walked past me. What do you mean Peter Schmeichel just walked past? I didn't even I was so in shock. I didn't even say anything. I just let him walk past me. I should have said something. That was my one opportunity to say something to Peter Schmeichel, and I just fucking blew it. I am also pretty sure that Yapstam just walked by, which I was so in shock from just seeing Peter Schmeichel and being 6 feet away from him that I didn't even get to see if it was Yapstam. But I saw glasses and bald, and I assumed it was Yapstam. I think it was Yapstam. It looked like him. It's embarrassing that I know what United players look like from the back, but that was a lot that just happened in the space of about 15 seconds. There are cars coming and people are getting excited. I think that was Alex Ferguson that just went past, which that would be fucking awesome. I hate being so short because I can't see over everyone. I can't reach my phone up high enough to let my phone see anyone. Have I fallen for a hoax? Have I fallen for the mob mentality? Oh shit. Oh shit, actually it's him. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's Sir Alex Ferguson. That's like my football granddad. Oh. I just absolutely shoved my way to the front because I'm short and I need to be able to see. So, alright. Jeez, my lipstick is really uneven. I'll focus on that when I get in. I'm trying to focus on getting good shots of actually important people. Is that Olivia Rodrigo? So much is happening. I'm not sure if I can handle this. Literally so much is happening all at once. But I almost missed it, but if you can't tell, that's Berbatov. Oh my god, that's Berbatov. So, an anxiety response from me when it comes to football games is I end up going in way too early. Like now, it's only 2:30, I think, and I'm already in the stadium, and now I have to wait an hour and a half for the match to kick off, even though my seat is literally just in front of me. I'm actually going to go to my seat now, so you'll be able to see with me and react with me to see how good the view is. So I'm walking down the thing now. I thought I was going to have to go up, but actually I don't need to. I'm going down. So my row is GG, which is here. My seat's 92, so what's that? 96, 97, 93. I am right. Oh, fuck off. I have to double check because I've tried to record this. This is the third time I've tried to record this now, and my microphone keeps cutting out. So the point I was going to make is that being in the Stretford end again is kind of giving me nostalgia, because this is not my first time watching United. This is not my first time at Old Trafford. This is not a new experience for me. But being in the Stretford end again is kind of giving me more nostalgia than I normally would, because my very first United game, I was sat in the Stretford end. I wasn't sat this close to the pitch. I wasn't lucky enough to get tickets that good, but I was sat. If you know the layout of Old Trafford, I was sat behind where the Dennis Law banner is. The one that said, actually, it's up there. The one that says Dennis Law, the king of the Stretford end. and the one that's next to the suburb born in Ashington, made in Manchester banner. If you know where that is, that's where I was sat for my very first United game. I was 16 years old. It was 4 days after my 16th birthday. That was my main 16th birthday present because I didn't have a party. And yeah, being in the Stretford end again is kind of making me think about like how I was so excited. I was absolutely off my nut. You could not shut me up about it. And now that I've gotten a little bit older, I'm nearly 19 now. And now that I've been to Old Trafford a few times, now I kind of know the procedure. It's not that it becomes less exciting for me, just that it just kind of becomes almost normal. Normal's the wrong word, but it just, I don't know. You start to get more like comfortable with it, and you start to get a little bit less emotional about it, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because when you're less emotional about it, you get way less anxiety about a match day. But when you're more emotional about it, obviously you have that kind of the leading up excitement about it, which is always good to have. But then again, a 16-year-old is going to think different to an 18-and-a-half-year-old, especially one that had never, like, you know. My point is that I'm very happy to be in the Trafford end again, because this will always have this stand specifically will always be special to me, because it's the first place that I saw United play live.
PA Sports. Bro,
it is absolutely freezing cold here as well. Like, I've had to completely do up. I was debating whether or not to bring this jacket, and I'm so glad I did now, because without it I think I'd be dying of fucking hypothermia. I'm not sure if you can see, but over there is Peter Schmeichel, and I think I'm 99% sure that's Jaap Stam, but it's definitely Peter Schmeichel, which, like, I'm a huge Peter Schmeichel fan. He's one of my favourite keepers of all time. So the fact that, like, an hour ago I was literally 5 feet away from him and I made a complete idiot of myself in front of him is one of the best yet most embarrassing moments of my life.
I cannot believe that Heaton is still going.
You know, chippy chips?
Yeah.
They have to be them chips, I don't get them.
As for, like, actual score prediction, I'm between saying it's going to be a 3-3 draw or a 2-1 win for United. I don't think either team's going to keep a clean sheet. Even if Chelsea does win, I don't think Chelsea will keep a clean sheet either. I really am between either a 3-3 draw or a 2-1 win. I'm going to say 2-1 win to be optimistic, because obviously I'm here and I'm watching it and I want to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw either. One of being in the Stretford end is you do have the best seats in the house, but you are constantly in danger of being absolutely wiped out by a fucking loose shot.
Well, you just knew that was going to happen.
I ended up not filming much of the game, which is to be expected. I normally get quite invested in the games when I go live, so even though I was planning on recording any United goal celebrations when we were in a Discord gallery, I ended up just forgetting, just completely slipped my mind. But yeah, after the game I ended up walking through Media City, which was quite nice actually, because I didn't know what Media City was. I saw it on the tram map, I didn't actually know what it was, but I felt a bit stupid because it literally is just the media central of Manchester. It's like the Manchester equivalent of White City in London. Speaking of London, I have actually been back for 3 days now. I'm not recording this on the Monday, I'm recording this on Wednesday. Mainly because I've been horribly sick the last 2 days and been pretty much going to college and then bed rotting for the rest of the day. Yeah, it will never kind of pass me by how appreciative I am of being able to go, because there are more Manchester United fans that live outside of Manchester that live in Manchester. That's previous. And there are a lot of people who don't have the privilege of being able to afford to go to games and being able to afford the transport. I'm quite lucky that
I'm in a position where my family can afford to go, not on a constant basis, but my wallet's about to fall off my leg. Anyway, so I lost all the money in my wallet. Sorry about that. I might print it out. Anyways, so my point is, the point I was going to make is I didn't grow up with a lot of money, but in the last few years my family have been quite lucky that our circumstances kind of changed and we have got a lot of money recently. So I can actually afford to go on all these trips to Manchester. Even though it's only 2, 3, 4 times a season, it's still better than a lot of other people can say. And it will never kind of pass me by how appreciative I am of it, because there is a mentality that if you're a fan of a team, that your home ground is far away, you are sort of less of a supporter, or you're less connected to your club, which I can appreciate, because I do appreciate that someone who grew up with Old Trafford in their back garden, or someone who grew up with Old Trafford just being something to see every day, something they walk past when they go to school or work, or something they pass on the tram. I do appreciate that they can have a different relationship with the club than one I have with someone who was raised in fucking Lewisham, Woolwich, that area, South East London. But also, I'm kind of not proud of myself, but I'm glad that I'm starting to get out of that mentality, because one thing that really bothered me was that I did feel like I was less of a fan, because I didn't grow up watching football. I didn't grow up watching football. I actually hated football for many years. Personal reasons, it's a very long story. But I actually didn't end up liking football for a number of years. But I feel like now that I look back at that sort of time in my childhood now, even when I hated football, I was still a Manchester United supporter, because my family were Manchester United supporters. And even though no one in my family is from Manchester, well, that's not true, but like 90% of my family is not from Manchester. My family is pretty much entirely Irish. They were all Manchester United supporters, so I still have that influence. And I feel, in my personal opinion, there is no wrong way to experience football. There is no wrong way to experience football. It doesn't matter to me whether you have a season ticket and go to every home game, and go to every away game, and travel with them to Europe, or whether you're sitting on the sofa using illegal streams because you're not able to afford a Sky TV membership. If you're still making the effort, you're still a fan. You can enjoy football in any way you see fit. There is no wrong way to enjoy football. You cannot police the way that football fans interact with their sport. And I'm so happy with myself that I've finally developed that sort of mindset, because otherwise I would be miserable. Every time I went to Old Trafford, I would be fucking miserable, because I feel like I didn't belong. But when I was standing there in the Stretford end, I felt like I belonged. I felt like I was no different to any other fan. I was there with, my United jacket on. I was there singing all the chants. And, it's just a matter of, if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. There are more Manchester United fans that live outside of Manchester than live in Manchester. That is obviously common sense. And whatever I do, I will piss off someone. I would never please everyone. If I stick with what I know and support Manchester United, some people will say, oh, you're a plastic fan, oh, you're an armchair fan, oh, you're not really a supporter of the clubs, oh, you can't feel what someone from Manchester feels. Fair enough, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But then if I did switch teams to support my local or support a London team, everyone would say that I was, a snake. There's no pleasing everyone. There is no pleasing everyone. And I'm happy to just experience football in the way I experience football. And maybe this has turned into a little bit of a rant that no one cares about, but I don't really mind, because it's just something that I felt needed to be said. There's a lot of, because it comes from a place of moral superiority. People think that if you do something, but there is a hierarchy of ways to do things in anything, not just football fandoms. There's a hierarchy, and people think that being higher up on that hierarchy is like some kind of moral standpoint, rather than just seeing it as your position in whatever you kind of interact with. And people have a lot of black and white thinking on this. They don't really consider all the options. I feel like a lot of people don't use nuance in this conversation, but then again, most people don't use a lot of nuance in a lot of football conversations, which is one of probably the most annoying things about being a football fan. But that's a conversation for another day. Ultimately, when I'm stood there in that stadium, that is where I am the happiest. That is where I am the most comfortable. That's where I feel the most accepted. That's where I feel the most myself. And it doesn't matter what anyone says, no one can take that away from me. And frankly, I'm so happy that I recorded and made a vlog of my time in Manchester, because it was absolutely peaceful and brilliant. And Manchester, I absolutely love you, and I will be back. I will be back, I promise. Bye!